Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be looking at leading coefficient of polynomial functions. If you want to follow along, the links to the companion worksheet, they're in the description below. Also, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the videos we have coming out from the channel. So when we're looking at the leading coefficient, what we're looking for is we want to identify what is the term with the highest degree, and then what is the coefficient attached to that. Now I'll tag in the upper right hand corner a link to the video where we talked about degrees of polynomials. You want to see that one first before we do this one. So here, the term with the highest degree is x to the fifth. Everything else has a lower power on x. So the question is, what is the leading coefficient? Well, what's the coefficient? And that's the number out front. So here the coefficient would be -8, this would be 9, 58, -164, and 69. People often ask, well, isn't it 0? No. The leading coefficient when there isn't one is 1. So that's because if it were 0, then that term would not exist. So that means that's our leading coefficient. So for number 2, the highest power on x is 4. So what's the number in front? Well, don't ignore the fact that we're subtracting this. So that means the leading coefficient here is -1. Because that's the number we're multiplying onto x to the fourth. Now for 3 and 4, as we saw in the degree video, what we need to do to find the highest degree is we take each term in the binomials that have x and we're going to multiply them. So we have 2x, we have -x, and we have x. So that means when we multiply this, we get -2x cubed. So 3 is the degree, but the leading coefficient is going to be -2. Okay. Now for number 4, again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take x, but this time we're going to square it. Here we have x, no power there, and then here we have 2x, but this is to the 4th power. So when we square this, we just get x squared. This is just x. Then we have 2 to the 4th and x to the 4th. So that's 16x to the 4th. So the term with the highest power on x is going to be 16x to the 7th, where 7 is the degree. So the leading coefficient is going to be 16. That's our number right there. Now looking at graphs, you can't actually tell what the number is, but what you are able to do is tell whether the leading coefficient is positive or negative. How do you do that? The way you can tell is by looking at the right-hand side of the graph. And so, is it pointing up or is it pointing down? So in this case, it's pointing up. So that means the leading coefficient is positive. What the actual value is, we'll get to that in a later video and help to figure that out. But for now, just looking at this, if it's going up, it's positive. So looking at this example, here, the right-hand side of the graph is pointed down. So that means the leading coefficient is negative. All right. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have suggestions or problems you want to see worked out, type a comment below. To support the channel, click the Patreon link to help keep this going. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, the best way to understand something is to do it.